Now, we've discussed the latest poverty figures released by the Census Bureau, the ones that told us that 1 in 7 Americans, more than 43 million people, are living below the poverty line. But who are these people? For some reason in this country, there's always been an assumption that the poor or the underclass are the non-white, the minorities. For some reason, the fact that there is and always has been a white underclass, the people at the bottom of that American barrel in the national labor pool, has become taboo. Now, according to the author of a new book, quote, public discussion of this class remains off limits, deemed hyperbole, and the stuff of dangerous radical leftists. Because besides, as everyone agrees, white people cannot be underclass. Now, joining me to discuss it from Mexico is Joe Bageant, the author of this new book, Rainbow Pie, a memoir of redneck America. Joe, thanks so much for joining me. Now, you said it yourself. There's an assumption in this country that white people can't be part of that poor underclass. Why do you think that is?
Well, our media is generated from the big cities, and in the big cities, poverty is easily color-coded by skin. People are packed densely and so on. And most poor blacks and so on live in the cities. But the heartland, all the stuff between the cities, most of the country and area, it's really hard for television to cover it because it's spread so thinly. It's also not exciting for media as the big cities. You know, most of us out there are boring working class people, and yet still most poor people in America are white. You know, so television tells Americans who they are. You know, what's going on in their country. What's happening in our society. Television is the operating instructions. So if it can't see you, you don't exist.
Okay, but what about, I don't know, historians, sociologists, the people that should be telling the real story? Why is it still even taboo to mention in their circles?
Well, capitalism dominates the way our history is written. You know, it's capitalist corporations that write the checks, they publish the books, and the profits from more dense urban populations are greater. Urbanism is economically more efficient for corporate capitalism. And also there's a rural-urban split in the American consciousness and its values. See, most exciting new things happen in the cities and so on. And so this vast, almost labor serfdom exists out there that they can never really see. Or if they do, they assume that what they see is the exception.
Now, Joe, you yourself say that you used to be part of this white underclass, you know, so explain to me why then you say that these people are so easily manipulated by corporate political interests, and why they're the ones that easily get mustered into supporting any kind of military conflict.
Well, I accidentally escaped. Simply put, you know, who are we? And, you know, I still am. No matter what I do, I'll always be a product of my environment. But, you know, we're the faithful working class. We're the people that have accepted America as it's been advertised by government, media, and corporations. That automatically means we're poorly informed and misled. You know, we're the faithful that die in war, and we believe in hard work. It's the greatest virtue. That, of course, makes us a cheap, disposable labor force. We believe our nation's the greatest on earth and that Americans invented freedom. We believe these things because we're taught from birth and because we can't see the rest of the world. For instance, we're not allowed to watch Al Jazeera. In fact, you have to go out of your way to watch or hear the BBC in America, despite that it's all over what's called public radio and public TV, which, you know, nobody watches, no significant numbers. And so we've become trained to consume spectacle instead, and spectacle, it's available 24/7.
But what do you make of, you know, perhaps the Tea Party? I mean, could you say that that the Tea Party is representative of that underclass finally gaining some political power?
Nah, the Tea Party, excuse me here, I have to keep touching my computer. The Tea Party's a media spectacle. You know, it's made...
They're not real Americans like you're talking about?
Well, we got to question whether a Tea Party really exists in the true sense of the word. The Tea Party's a media spectacle to make working class people believe they have power. A lot of good people join the Tea Party movement without understanding that it's a political media production for mass consumption. For instance, it's backed by money from billionaires, and in reality, it's managed by super conservative capitalists like the Koch brothers. We have a theater state, and television is the operating instructions for our society, and its owners, the corporate owners, create the reality. But what you're going to see at a Tea Party rally on TV is the microphone and the camera go to the loudest person or the ugliest, strangest sign, and you don't see all the people that just kind of show up because, well, take America back. It sounds like a good slogan, but you ask them what they think, they don't know what they think.
Yeah. Joe, I just want to ask you one more thing very quickly, because we got to wrap it up. You know, because of the recession, a lot more people are now moving away from the middle class and becoming part of this poor underclass. So do you think that that's going to bring it out into the limelight, or that they'll just deny it, that it's going to remain this secret taboo? Very quick.
Okay, well, I don't think they have the language to describe the problem. It's been stripped from our language, you know, by our educations and so on. So if they can't describe their problem, they can't solve it.
All right, Joe, I want to thank you very much for joining us.